Good morning, students. Today we are going to see about the introduction of microprocessor. The topic today we are going to see is what is microprocessor and evolution of microprocessor, and what are the features of microprocessor, and what is microcontroller, and the basic difference between the microcontroller and microprocessor. Okay, so what is microprocessor? A microprocessor is a small electronic devices that function a central processing unit of a computer or any electronic system that is said to be your microprocessor, and it is a programmable integrated circuit that performs arithmetic and logical operation that is necessary for your execution of instruction in computer programs, and the brain behind the countless electronic devices from simple household applications to complex supercomputers. This is a main process of microprocessor, and there are certain key points to understand about the microprocessor. It has various unit, that is arithmetic logic unit, control unit, and registers and buses for communications, where it can restore the data and process it, and it has various instruction set, clock speed, and memory and IO interfaces. There are two types of computing system, that is your CISC and RISC, and there are various applications where this microprocessor has been used, that may be including personal computers, smartphones, embedded system and industrial controllers, and automotive electronics and more. And let's see the evolution of computer. The evolution of computer is first generation, that is your 4-bit processor, example Intel 404 and Intel 8008 and Motorola 6800. These are the early microprocessor, which is very simple and with limited capabilities compared with the modern processor. This is mainly used in calculators and personal computers, and also in embedded system. And second is your second generation, that is it is raised on the year of early 1980s. Example Intel 8080 and Intel 8086, 8088 and Motorola 68000. Okay, this is your second generation microprocessor, feature improved performance and expanded instruction set. This plays a significant role in developing of your personal computers and introduce support for higher level programming language. Next is your third generation, that is raised in the mid late of 1980s, and example of your third generation is your Intel 8286 and Intel 8386 and Motorola 68020. These are the example of third generation microprocessor. And this third generation microprocessor introduced a 32-bit architecture and virtual memory support and enhanced performance. And next is your fourth generation, that is raised in early to mid 1990. Example is that Intel 8486 and Pentium processor. These are your fourth generation microprocessor, featured with higher clock speed and improved floating point performance and multimedia capabilities, and they contribute a rapid growth in personal computer market, and they perform emergence of multimedia application. Next is your fifth generation. So example for your fifth generation microprocessor is Intel Pentium Pro and Intel Pentium 2 and 3. So in your fifth generation microprocessor introduce an advanced features such as a superscalar execution and out of order execution and large on chip caches. This is your fifth generation microprocessor, and then you have a seventh generation, and example Intel Pentium 4. Those things are come under your sixth generation. And seventh generation microprocessors Intel Core series and AMD and ARM Cortex processor. These are your seventh generation microprocessor which we are using in now, and they perform tremendous speed, and they give a higher efficiency and parallelism, and it has a specialized processing unit. So these processors, 7th generation processor, we are using in various application. And what are the features of microprocessor? The main features of microprocessor is cost wise it is so cheap, and it performs high speed of operation, and its size is very small, versatile and low power consumption, and less heat generation, and reliable and portable. These are the features of your microprocessor. Let us see what is microcontroller. So microcontroller is a microcomputer that is made on a single semiconductor chips is called single chip microcomputer, and this single chip microcomputers are generally used for control application that is said to be your microcontroller. It contains all essential components of microcomputer. Okay, let's see the difference between the microprocessor and microcontroller. It is used for big application. The microprocessor is used for big applications, and microcontroller used to execute a single task within an application. And the microprocessor is the heart of the computer system, and microcontroller is the heart of the embedded system. And microprocessor is just a processor. Memory, I/O components have to be having to be connected externally, whereas microcontroller contain external processor along with internal memory and internal components, input output components. Since microprocessor has input output and memory connected externally, the circuit becomes very large. And in microcontroller, input output and memory present internally, the circuit is small. And in microprocessor, it cannot be used in compact system and hence inefficient. And the microcontroller is very efficient, and the cost of the entire system is increases in microprocessor, and in microcontroller the cost is very low. And in microprocessor, power consumption is high, whereas in microcontroller the power consumption is low. And microprocessor don't have power saving modes, whereas in microcontroller it has power saving mode, and it is difficult to replace in microprocessor, and in microcontroller it can be easily replaceable when there is any malfunctions. And microprocessor is mainly used in personal computer, and microcontroller is used in washing machine and MP3 players. And these are the basic questions which we will get in this topic, that is, what is your define microprocessor, define microcontroller, what is the basic difference between a microprocessor and microcontroller. And thank you.